We have tried so many times to get my sister but we fail. I continued to work in order to offer my sister as a sacrifice. When my family took Rachel out of the capital, I wanted to do astral traveling in order to join them, but I saw that the space was blocked. I received a message telling me that I will need another body to get there. When it was time to travel, the sky in the night was filled with bat. These were not bird but demons who came to get me. I concentrated. As a result, I saw that my feet began to melt together. I saw the skin of bat coming out of my skin. I saw my hand changing like that of wings of bird. I saw that my teeth became long. My ear became elongated. In short, I became a bat. I was supposed to rise in altitude with these demons who also had the shape of bat in order to travel to the national river in the lower Congo. Suddenly a tempest arose. I began to rise in altitude of a meter. To my surprise, I saw a group of people coming and singing Christian song. Immediately a demon told me, "You have to rise before they see you," yet the song of these people was stopping me from rising. At this point I was already an animal. When I came down, I looked at the people that were coming as they were singing, and when these people saw me in animal shape they screamed in terror and they began to run away. I began to chase them. I managed to touch some of them on the neck and the hand. These touch were sickness that were supposed to appear later. One of them was killed because he was able to identify me despite my transformation, that was not complete in the area of my face. After this incident I traveled to Lower Congo in order to find ways to capture the soul of my sister Rachel, that I was to offer as a human sacrifice. When we arrive, our task was determined in advance by the spirit world and territorial ruler. I was still in the shape of a bat when I got to this region, after getting instruction from Bat Demon and that gathering deep in the bush in the night. I saw a woman coming alone in this remote place deep in the night. The woman welcomed me and told me, "I was appointed to welcome you in this region. There is a service to be done. We will need a sacrifice of many souls." The woman took me around the river. As we were moving around the Congo River, I saw a paranormal phenomena. I saw the national river rising and opening, and we started to enter the world beneath the water. The goddess Elizabeth said, "Fear not, for all the water of the world belong to us. The waters of the earth are ours." When we enter the submarine world, I saw a king of the sea. Elizabeth told me, "This is our master." I was introduced to this Triton under the national river, who is the king of the sea, in the name of King Pirion, a master of the ocean. As a matter of fact, Pirion is also the name of the national company in Angola that exploit oil under the Atlantic Ocean. There is a reason this Angolan national company that extract oil in the ocean is called Pirion. Companies sign pact with territorial spirit to avoid hindrance in their business. When the King Pirion appeared, I saw that he was holding a trident, and the water was taking us toward him. When we got closer, the King Pirion told me, "I will help you cause the accident for the sacrifice of many souls. But you have to determine the number of the victim, for you will get the number of the victim you want." The king told the ladies of the sea around him, "Very soon I will send you to the earth in human shape and mission." At that moment a whirlwind arose and began to turn around. I saw Micheline, Elizabeth and Gabriel joining the King Pirion in the whirlwind, and they began to descend underwater. The king told me, "You will succeed in your mission in this territory that is under my rule. There will be opposition, but be wise. I am giving you this trident and you will work in the power of this trident." When we were leaving the riverside, we encounter a goddess that work in Angola, in the name of Sheikh Idina. She told me, "The King Pirion have entrusted me everything you will need in this mission." Later in the day, when I joined my mother and Rachel, who came in this region to seek healing, we went to a temple of a priest who was supposed to heal her. When we got there, I asked the witch doctor to capture the spirit of Rachel. Actually, he was warned of my arrival and my mission in the region by the territorial King Pirion. When we got to this lodge, there were ritual and dancing. During this ritual I collaborated with the witch doctor and we caused Rachel to drink blood. This lodge was a small house, but in the spirit it was a tall building with many floors. The witch doctor that was the priest of this lodge told me, "This place that seems nothing with physical eyes is a tall building heading to the sky." And when the ritual began, it went on to a stage where the priest warned me about the arrival of a goddess that worked with her. I saw that when this goddess was coming down the floor of this invisible building, I began to hear her step but we could not see her. When this female demon reached the floor where we were seated, his servant the native doctor knelt and greeted her. Given that I did not kneel before her, she got angry for I failed to honor her. She asked the priest, "Why is this young man failing to kneel before me?" As soon as this lady of the sea began to threaten me, I saw the angel of Satan Jorgen showing up and he entered my body. When the angel of Satan entered my body he began to make noise of wolf against this goddess in order to scare her, but the King Pirian was in control of my protection against territorial spirit in this region. The angel of Satan Jorgen who was making noises of a wolf told me, "This goddess is testing and provoking us, you got to try to identify her and evaluate her power." When I wanted to deal with her, this goddess decided to move in order to attack me. At that moment, I heard spirit telling me we are protecting you. When the goddess heard them she stepped back. She told me your mission here will not succeed here. Take note, I need Rachel's soul to serve me when she die. I said we need her to serve us when she die. This evil lady asked me, "Who is with you?" I said I am working with the Queen Micheline, the goddess Elizabeth and the Princess Gabriel. She told me these are my daughter in the marine world. "So all these ladies of the sea with you are my daughters?" I said yes, they are your daughter underwater but here they are under my responsibility for a long time. I said to this lady of the sea, "I want to see your face and shape." She told me, "You will not see my face and shape, but I will see you." When I was talking to this goddess my family around me could not hear our conversation, for it was a communication in the spirit. At that moment I did magic prayer. I saw that my vision opened and I saw the face and shape this goddess. She had red hair, she was wearing the skin of a crocodile and she had rose nail polisher. Jorgen enabled me to see the shape and identity of this goddess that came from the sky, and told me, "Ask her why she has red hair and rose nail polisher on the nail." I asked this goddess, "Why do you have red hair and rose nail polisher?" She replied, "Really, you have seen my face and shape." I said to this goddess, "The fact that you have red hair means that you are not different from these water lady under my authority." When she heard these words from me she got angry. She said, "Now you will bow before me, I will count up to 3, if you don't kneel before me I will punish you." I said, "You will attack me but I will not be reached." At that moment this lady of the sea lifted her hand. I saw a fireball appearing on her hand, and she pointed to me, and she shot me with this fireball, that was deflected and could not reach me. When I deflected this fireball I saw it reaching the woman who influenced my mother to come to this place. When she was hit by the fireball this lady began to cry and she was on the ground and she lost her mind. I told this goddess, "You will stop shooting fireball, for you will not reach me. I want to tell you that in the end you will serve me for you are beneath me." When she heard these words she got more angry. As a result, I saw her nails getting longer. The angel of Satan Jorgen instructed me to turn around 3 times. When I did that I saw a horn coming out of my head and my horn went on to pierce this goddess and she fell to the ground in agony and went away. The spirit world is all about test of power. The strong dominate the weak. After this incident, the ritual began in this lodge. During the ritual we did thanksgiving prayer to the principality who have received me in the region, I mean the King Pirian of the sea. Then we did purification of Rachel's body. As the ritual continued, finally I saw the spirit of Rachel appearing and entering inside a flagon. I saw Rachel seated inside the flagon and she was crying. The priest asked the king of the sea Pirian to enter in Rachel's body and replace her spirit that were captured in the flagon in order to animate her body. Afterward, we did purification so that Rachel's body will recover. Rachel's spirit was captive in the flagon and I saw that she was crying. When my mother and Rachel woke up in the morning, my mother asked me, "How is Rachel?" I said, "Look at her, she is fine." When mother looked at Rachel, she saw that she had recovered and she was healed. In truth Rachel was not in her body but in the flagon. The territorial demon Pirian was animating her body. Rachel seemed to be healed, but when there was eyes contact between me and Rachel something happened that I never understood. I heard Rachel asking me, "Brother, why have you done this to me?" Immediately the angel Satan Jorgen entered in me and replied to her, "I did this to save you my sister." When my mission of capturing the soul of my sister was fulfilled in this region, I thank the King Pirian who receive in this territory. Then we returned to the capital. I went to attend the mourning of my late friend, a member of our temple. When I got to the funeral, I saw a man telling me, "Everybody was looking for you." When I looked at this man in the forehead, I saw that he had a cross written with ashes on his forehead, for he was a witch. There are witches that have teeth of animal, some have shape of animal in their soul, some ears in their hole. When this brother said my name in this funeral, I did not know that the pastor was there. When the pastor heard my name, he came to me. To my surprise, he was less antagonist. He told me, "My brother in the Lord, I want to talk to you." I said, "What do you mean when you called me beloved in the Lord?" The pastor said, "I know that we have been treading hard language, but it's all right, for I know there are spirits that cause you to speak that way." I said to the pastor, "You also are animated by spirit that cause you to be antagonistic toward me." The pastor said, "My brother, I really need to talk to you today. This talk is critical. It can cause you problem, even before the official, but I want us to resolve it." The pastor pulled out a letter written by my late friend, who had confessed occultism in the letter and wrote that he was gonna die because of his practice. This letter also revealed that I was part of this practice. The pastor asked me, "Do you recognize the handwriting of this letter?" I said, "Pastor, I don't recognize this handwriting." As I continued to talk to the pastor, I saw the demon of laugh and comedy appearing before us. This demon caused people to laugh. He asked me, "Gabi, how are you? Long time." I said, "I am fine." He told me, "I have no service, that is why I came here for laugh." "You don't need to answer this pastor question, let me answer his question." Immediately the comedic demon entered my body and took over my mouth. He told me, "You don't answer him, for I will answer all the question." Then the pastor asked me, "Gabi, are you sure you have never seen the handwriting in the letter?" The demon of comedy said to the pastor through my mouth, "Among my classmates I never saw this handwriting." The pastor said, "I am not asking about your classmate, I am asking you whether you have ever seen this handwriting." The comedic demon replied and said to the pastor, "I have never seen this handwriting." Quickly the pastor said to me, "I am talking to Baby, I am not talking to you, demon." Immediately I regained my mouth and I said, "Pastor, how can you say you are talking to me? You are to Baby. There is only one person here, which is me. What do you mean when you said I am not talking to you? I am talking to Baby." The pastor said, "In the name of Jesus Christ, I command the spirit speaking in this mouth and dwelling in this body to leave." At that moment I began to shake and I tremble in my spirit, for the demon of laugh and comedy that came to confuse the pastor was identified and cast out by the pastor. The pastor said, "I take authority and control over this perimeter." Immediately the angel of Satan Jorgen told me, "Baby, you must deal with him violently, just insult him in order to aggravate and upset him." The pastor said, "All I want is for you to be saved. Just look at your life and your family, you need salvation." I said, "My deliverance is not in your hand, and the name you are mentioning there, I don't want you to be calling me beloved in the Lord." The pastor said, "You are now a beloved in the Lord," but I refute that. The talk with the pastor degenerated, for I insulted him. The pastor said, "It's okay, I leave you. It's good that we talk, but one day we will meet." Immediately I heard the God of the earth telling me, "Today you will terminate this pastor." Later in this funeral, when the family of my late friend wanted to talk to the pastor, we got concerned that the pastor may disclose the fact that our friend was in the occult, and when the pastor got in the house to talk to them, we surrounded the house. The angel Jorgen entered the body of a cat that was indoors in order to hear the pastor conversation with the family. There are animal that vehicle of wizard and unclean spirit. In this talk the pastor exposed our temple and he told the family that their loved one was in the occult and was initiated by me and my group. When Jorgen transmitted this conversation, we pushed the door and we broke in the house in order to disrupt the conversation and to harden the heart of this family. There was chaos when we enter. We tried to accuse the pastor. The pastor pulled out the letter that had the symbol S and T, which are the representation of the god of the land. The pastor asked me to show people my hand, for this symbol was engraved in my hand. People saw it but they could not accept that this was true, for we hardened their heart. He asked me to show this family my other hand where there were satanic signs, but the family said these are just scar of burning. The pastor told them these are not just scar, they are mark of consecration for his rule and domination in the physical world, but this family remained skeptic. The pastor told this family Baby is a member of an occult group. All these signs are his consecration, but the family was still hardening their heart. The pastor asked the crowds to get out. He said, I am now doing a demonstration once for all. But one of my friend, a member of the occult group, smacked the pastor who was trying to expose us to the family. The pastor lost equilibrium because this smack was charged with satanic power. By the time the pastor was trying to get together, we ran away. When I got home I saw Rachel sitting. I said, how are you, Rachel? She replied to me, you should know that I am not Rachel. I am the spirit you place in Rachel, your sister, in the flagon. The temple called and told me to come to agreement with the spirit that is dwelling in Rachel and speaking in her mouth, so that he would not tell people that he is not Rachel. However, when my mother tried to talk to Rachel, this spirit said to my mother, I am not Rachel, though I am in this body, I am not Rachel. My mother asked me, what is the meaning of this? Why is Rachel talking like this? In truth, Rachel's spirit was imprisoned in the flagon, and a demon was animating her body. Later the angel of Satan Jorgen called and told me, I am leaving you for 2 weeks. I am leaving you in the hand. The angel Pygus of the Islamic religion will replace me and help you. Not long after that, I saw the demon Pygus appearing. He told me, I have to introduce myself. I am Pygus and I came for Rachel. I said, enter in Rachel and try to master the spirit that is speaking through her. Pygus said, this is not just one spirit, they are 2. I said, who are them? He said, have you forgotten the king of Cyprian who welcomed you in the coast city? He is with the goddess Sheikh-Idina. Jorgen came and told me, Pygus know Pyrian but he never saw him. Then Pygus began to draw on the wall the picture of her goddess whose hair were serpent. We must be very careful with drawing in clothes, statue on building and around building. These are soldiers, demons guarding building, places and sites. I saw the snake of the goddess entering the house. My mother woke up from the sleep. She told me, I can see snake entering the house. Suddenly I noticed that Rachel was bleeding, losing blood. Pygus told me, I called the king and her wife the goddess so that they can execute Rachel's body. I said to this demon, I did not ask you to do that. I will do this sacrifice my way. Pygus said, you are not supposed to shout at me that way. I said, I am shouting at you in the name of the god the land. I lifted my hand and I summoned the demon John Walker. When he landed, he said, I am at your service. I said to Johnny Walker, this spirit is rebellious. You must bring him back in the line. Johnny Walker told me, this spirit was sent by Jorgen in your back to kill Rachel, for the temple failed to handle the spirit of Rachel. That is why Pygus came to destroy Rachel's body on your back. Jorgen sent him on your back to kill your sister. At that moment I saw the angel of Satan Jorgen arriving in the place, then the demon Johnny Walker assaulting the demon Pygus. The angel Jorgen stepped back, and Pygus told me, I will use your sister body. I am not going away. Jorgen said to me, Gabi, I am leaving you. I have served you and I subjected myself to you for a long time. Then something happened at that moment. I saw the angel Jorgen, the Islamic demon Pygus and the king of the Cyprian becoming one. They did a fusion. Jorgen said to me, Gabi, lift up your hand so that we can go. I lifted one hand. I was about to lift my second hand. I saw the ocean queen Micheline and the goddess Elizabeth appearing and the princess Gabriel. The ocean queen told me, baby, when you came underwater we welcome you in the marine world, and we still need you underwater. We cannot let these terrestrial spirit of the land kill you. If you follow their instruction and lift your hand, they will kill you and you will become a wandering spirit serving them as a slave. At that moment, I saw the fusion of Jorgen, Pygus and King Pyrian happening. They were changing face, even taking the face of Micheline and Elizabeth, who told me they are trying to deceive you and destroy you and make you their slave. Even your master the god of the land is now against you. They all want to destroy you. When this 3 spirit had become one, they have turned to a mysterious goddess. The evil goddess told me, Gabi, come and embrace me. I said to this goddess, I don't know you. How can I do that? You are the combination of 3 spirit together. "Who are you?" she told me. "I want to save you." Immediately I saw Elizabeth and Micheline making a fusion and they became one. The Princess Gabriel told me, "Don't embrace that lady, we don't know her." The mysterious goddess looked at Micheline and said, "These ladies are of the East, but I am orientated to you." When this mysterious goddess got closer to me, I was weakened and I embraced her. As a result I went into unconsciousness for many hours, and then I woke up. My mother said, "You were asleep for all day, what happened?" I said, "I don't what happened." When my mother gave me food I went to eat in my studio. Immediately I saw the mysterious goddess appearing, and she sat on the chair. I noticed that there were multicolor nail polisher on her finger. The first color was that of her clothes, the second color was that of her fingernail. The third color was that of her eyelash. This adornment of this mysterious goddess can be seen in a clip of a lady gospel singer that is member of a secret order, where many pastors are members. Their logo is two hand making the sign of 666, in her this gospel singer she stand before the mirror with these nails polisher, for this goddess is the combination of King Pirion, the angel Yorgan and the demon Pygus and the King Pirion. These three represent 666. The mysterious goddess said to me, "I am here to lead you to the end of your duty. I know you but you don't know me, but you will know who I am here. I am here to use the body of Rachel." She laid her hand on Rachel's forehead and the latter began to talk inconsistently. Later I met the pastor who told me, "I just wanted to tell you, baby, every deed we do on the earth will be paid and your time is finished." I said, "If my days are numbers then imagine what will happen to your children." He said, "You outsmart some pastor but you can't do anything against me and my children." Then we challenged one another again. When I was leaving I saw the pastor children. When I shook hand with one of them the pastor told me, "You can shake a hand with them, you will not achieve your wicked desire." Quickly I touched the head of the pastor's son, and I left a communication device on his head. "Beloved," I said, "that when the child wake up in the middle of the night talking, you must get him back in the sleep using the name of Jesus Christ, and take control by declaring word of authority on that day after challenging the pastor." In the night while people were sleeping, I began to do incantation. I was calling the son of the pastor because the communication was already activated. I tried to call his spirit out of the body to transport him to the world of witches. I saw that he began sleep talk, but he kept saying, "Baby, I don't want to join you, I am not coming." I refused. When her mother heard him talking he woke him up. At that moment he returned in the sleep quietly as if there was nothing. It is dangerous when the child returned to sleep quietly without saying a word. When the pastor's son returned to sleep, his spirit left the body and was moving in the corridor. In order to get out of the house, I summoned two demon transporters to carry him in the spirit world. When he was about to meet the two demon transporters at the gate of their compound, I saw a ball of light descending from the sky and it entered the corridor where the soul of the child was moving, and this ball of light disrupted everything, stopping this astral awakening of the pastor's son. This ball of light had so much power and energy that I was disturbed and I was affected directly, for I was invaded by a cold to such an extent that I began to shake and tremble. My mother asked me, "Why are you shaking